All right, here we go. So to make this foldable, this is how we're going to do our Newton's Laws notes. So what I need you guys to do in your notebook, okay, I need you to find, this is the one I made with my last period class. It's going to end up like that. Okay, so go to the next clean page that is blank on both sides. Has to be blank on both sides. It doesn't matter what side of the notebook it is, but it has to be blank on both sides. Are we okay? Then what I need you to do is take that paper, fold it in half by putting the edge of the paper into the seam of the notebook. Okay, so you're going to fold it in half and make that seam. You're going to push down and make a seam. Okay? So you end up with something like this. Okay? Easy peasy so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, help your neighbor if they need help. Then what I need you to do is take your notebook and fold it so that the fold side of that paper you just folded is facing your belly. You want this facing your belly. Okay? Leave it folded. Leave it folded. Now, I have a graph notebook, so mine doesn't have margins. If you have margins, use those to guide you, but I don't have margins, so I'm going to pretend that I have a margin up here. I'm going to count 4 squares. This is the top of my notebook. 4 squares from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mark it with my finger.
Do I count the half squares?
No, I didn't count the half square. And watch what I'm going to do. This is the part that kids mess up. We're going to cut all the way to 4 squares before the end of the paper by the seam of the notebook. So you're going to do this. So you're going to make right on that line so that you have about 4 squares before the end of the notebook. So you have this. And then we're going to do the same thing at the bottom of your notebook. So count about 4 squares in, like there would be a margin. And go 4 squares from the edge. Okay? So far, so good? Now what we're going to do is we're going to do so you guys should have something that looks like this. Do you have something that kind of looks like this? Okay. Leave your paper folded. Leave it folded. We're going to cut the same type cut in the middle. Now I counted the squares and I have 41 squares from cut to cut or from margin to margin. That's not an even number. So I'm going to pretend that there are 40. And I'm just going to be off on one end is going to be 1 square bigger. So I'm going to count 20 squares in from my margin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And I am going to make a cut, the same cut so that I'm 4 squares from the edge of the paper.
Yeah.
So I have 4 sections, 2 skinny ones at the top and 2 chunky ones in the middle. Is that what y'all have? Yeah? Okay. Can I keep going? Turn your notebook back so it's right side up. Keep that paper folded. You're going to take your scissors and the 2 center chunky ones only, you are going to cut right on that fold. Okay? If it is easier for you to open it up and cut on the line, if you have a gridded paper, that's fine. Sometimes that's easier. But you want a nice straight cut because these are the flaps that are going to be part of your foldable. So what you end up with is something like this. You should have a frame all the way around the outside of your flaps, all the way around the outside of your page. Do you have a frame where that's uncut? Okay, that's what you should have. Now you need your glue. Take your glue stick. Can I keep going, kiddos?
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. So now here's what I want you to do. So here's your page. Be very careful because you don't want to rip the outside frame. Turn the page so that it's on the back of your page. The back. And you're going to take your glue stick and you are going to glue just the outside frame. Now, if you have one of those really big glue sticks, pay attention to what you are gluing because you don't want to glue the flaps down. Just glue the outside frame only. Outside frame only, the very outside edge. Okay? Then you're going to I'm going to turn my notebook sideways again. Then you're going to very carefully lay it on the page behind it. And you don't want any wrinkles. Line it up so it's nice and straight with the page behind it. Okay? Nice and straight. Okay? How'd we do? Oh, I have a wrinkle. Did you guys do okay? Okay. When you're done, you should have a notebook that when you open up the flaps like this, do you have paper to write behind there nice and neat?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my flaps back and crease them. And you'll see why in a sec. Fold the flaps back and crease them. Okay. Don't forget to put the top on your ruler, then or your glue. Now you need ruler. Okay. Because we're going to be writing behind the flaps in this space here, I want to make sure that we know where the boundaries are between the squares. So I'm going to use a ruler. And what I'm going to ask you to do is take the two flaps on the left, fold them down, and line up the ruler with the very edge of the flaps. And I'm going to take a black pen, and I'm just going to draw my line straight down on the back paper. Okay? Oh my, I pushed so hard I made a hole. Okay. Alrighty. Don't push as hard as I did. So you have this black line here. Then I need you to do it to the bottom as well. So fold the bottom flaps down. So you're making like a plus sign. And if it doesn't, if you have to go back over it with your ruler, that's fine.
That's one way of saying safe on it.
Okay. So that way when we're writing on these back pages, we can see exactly where we should be writing. How'd we do? Okay?